Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. We appreciate you stopping by today. It's a little bit overcast here in the Lipa City area, and today we're going to talk a little bit about finances. I've seen some recent videos on YouTube where other expat vloggers have been talking about increased prices in the Philippines and how that's going to affect their budget. And I'd like to just kind of address that today and hopefully ease the mind of some of you guys that are thinking about making that move here, and show you that it is absolutely possible to live here on. You don't have to be rich or have $3,000 a month coming in order to live a comfortable life here in the Philippines. The last budget video I made, we received a lot of comments from folks just saying it's absolutely not possible to live on $800 a month or $1,000 a month, that you need as a minimum $2,000. And it really depends on each individual's lifestyle, what their preferences are, what they're comfortable doing, and what they're willing to do in order to reach their goals and enjoy their retirement. One of my subscribers, a gentleman named Rick, that lives here in the Plantacion subdivision, he watches all of my videos and he reads the comments, and he asked me, he says, I'd like to share my budget with everyone. He says, I do not want to be on camera. I don't want people to see me or anything. And I respect his wishes. I don't have any reason to embarrass him or anything, but I went over to his house and sat down and we had a cup of coffee, and he laid out what his costs were for the month of June, this past June. And I think you'll be kind of shocked at that. And so anyway, guys, we're going to get right into it. I'll give you a little background about Rick. He's 68 years old. He's lived in the Philippines for 9 years now. He was with a Filipina girlfriend. She lived with him for 6 of those years here in the Plantacion subdivision. She passed away about 1.5 years ago, so he's been solo for the last 1.5 years. So the numbers that you're seeing are for a single person. But we're going to dive right into it. He's a nice guy. I really enjoy talking to him, and he showed me the receipts on all of the things that actually have receipts, and I trust him. I don't think he's exaggerating or making up any of these numbers. They seem perfectly reasonable to me. So just bear with me, guys. I'll have to use my glasses in order to read my list, because these aren't my numbers. So I just wrote these down, and I don't want to rely on my memory in order to present this information to you. So just bear with me. I'll glance down at my notes and use my glasses as we go through this list. So let's get right into it. Okay. His rent here in the Plantacion subdivision is 7,500 pesos per month, or $128 per month. Plantacion Meridienne and the Lipa City area in general is pretty well known for having low-cost rentals. I don't understand why more people don't really seek out this area. It is on the main island, the same as Manila and Batangas City and Baguio and those places. So you're pretty conveniently located to a lot of amenities and services that come with being close to large metropolitan areas. His electric bill was 1,086 pesos for June, or $18.52. He does have an air conditioning window unit in his room, which he said he rarely uses. He lives in a 2-story unit just right down the road here in Pepper Grove, another section of Plantacion. And he lives on the 2nd floor. This is a 2-story unit. It has 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. He has a bathroom upstairs and a bathroom downstairs. He's been living in the same place for the last 8 years that he's been here in the Philippines. So his electric bill is it's lower than ours, but we run our air conditioners quite a bit more than he does, but still our electric bill is very reasonable as well. His internet cost is 1,299 pesos per month. He gets 50 megabyte upload and download speeds from StreamTech, which is the only fiber company that we have available here in Plantacion at the moment. We hope that we get PLDT here eventually, but as the owner of the subdivision is also the owner of Stream Tech, I have a feeling that's one of the reasons that Stream Tech is exclusive here. But that equates to $22.15 per month. His water bill, 410 pesos per month. That's pretty standard. $7 a month. That's the same as our water bill, our neighbors. It's a pretty standard cost. The only time your water bill is more than that is if you go above the allotted minimum. I don't even know what that number is. We've never went over it since we've been here. And we've had months where Jen's had family here for the entire month and we all use the same bathroom and use a lot of water, but we've still never paid more than 410 pesos per month so far. His drinking water, 105 pesos per month, which is 3 of the big blue bottles, or $1.79. Of course, we go through more water than that because we have more people, but it's really reasonable and economical, your drinking water. You don't drink the tap water in the Philippines. It can make you very sick. It's something that you have to be careful of when you come here, and especially if you're coming from the USA like me, where I didn't have any issue whatsoever with pouring a glass of water out of the tap and drinking it. In Lebanon, Missouri, the water was perfectly fine. His phone bill, he has a prepaid phone, same as I do, but his cost is 500 pesos per month, or $8.53. He buys his preload at the beginning of the month, and a lot of times it rolls over into the next month because you use your Wi-Fi at home and you only have to use your data when you're out on the road. So that's pretty reasonable cost. You buy your SIM card up at the SM Mall for less than $10, and then you can just load it online as you need. You can get as much or as little data and talk and text as you need, or based on your individual needs. His food bill, 19,543 pesos per month, or $333.21. That's kind of commensurate with what Jen and I pay on average each month for our food bill. But we tend to buy a lot more locally produced foods, like fish, our pork and chicken. We buy all of that stuff locally produced, where Rick, he likes to go to the S&R and buy a few more Western products like milk and American type steaks and beef and things like that, which they're a little more pricey. They're along the same cost as you would find like in a Walmart or a Publix back in the USA. So his food bill, that's his largest cost though. So his LP gas is 196 pesos per month, or $3.34. He uses the same setup as we all do in the Philippines. You buy an LP gas bottle, and for Jen and I, we have to replace our bottle about once every 3 months. We just replaced one the other day. But Rick, he says he only has to replace his bottle about once every 5 months. And I believe that. Just one person, and his lifestyle is completely different than ours. Jen cooks a lot in the house, and he does as well, but he also utilizes a microwave and a toaster oven a lot more than we do. Petrol for his car, he has a Toyota Wigo, and his gas is 1,500 pesos per month, or $25.58. His car is paid for, so he doesn't have a car payment. He bought the Wigo here. They're very reasonably priced. He bought this thing about 8 or 9 years ago or 7 years ago. He told me, and I can't remember, I'm sorry. And he only paid about 6,000 pesos a month for 4 or 5 years and he completely paid that car off. And his insurance costs are very minimal, just like mine are for the scooter. He doesn't have a monthly cost for insurance. I know for us, we buy 3 years of scooter insurance. It's only 800 pesos. But that equates to $25.58. I already said that. Restaurants, he allots 4,000 pesos per month, and most months he hits that target, and that's $68.20. Some months Jen and I will use a little more than that, sometimes less, but Rick likes to eat at the Army Navy restaurant, the Shakey's Pizza, the restaurants at the mall, where Jen and I, we go to more locally produced food. The restaurants that are just hole in the wall, they're on the side of the road. Jen's very good at picking those out. The food's delicious. And we probably eat out at least 2 times more than he does, but our cost is less just because of the choice of where we want to eat. So, I mean, it just buys into that idea that your lifestyle and your personal choices are going to have a great impact on your cost of living. Rick is also a smoker. He's not a heavy smoker, and he does occasionally like to drink some Red Horse beer or buy a bottle of bourbon from time to time. So he spends like 6,000 pesos per month on Vice, I call it, which is $102.30. The prices of alcohol and tobacco in the Philippines are significantly less than they are in the Western countries, especially the United States. I would say a factor of 4 times less as far as tobacco, and I'm not sure about the alcohol, but when I see it on the shelf up at the 7-Eleven, it looks like, to me, it looks very cheap. Travel and entertainment, that's another area that he spends on a little bit more than we do. He allots 5,000 pesos per month, or $85.25. And he does take a trip at least 2 or 3 times a month. He'll go over to Mindoro on the ferry, or he'll drive his car up to Baguio or up near Clark Air Base, and just he gets out and about quite a bit. And so, I mean, that's pretty reasonably priced to make 3 trips a month for $85. It's hard to beat that. That's accommodations, and it doesn't include food. He includes the food part in the other portions of his budget that are specifically set aside for food. But just the lodging and the like tickets for the ferry or the bus or anything that he's going to do, he includes in that 5,000 pesos per month cost. He doesn't have local health insurance. He has a sizable savings account. I couldn't tell you how much that is, but that's what he relies on for any emergencies that he should face here. And he does still keep his Medicare in the United States. And the way that he explained it to me was if he had a chronic condition or something that needed to be treated, his trust in the healthcare system here is a little bit less than what it is back in the United States. So what he would do would be to travel back to the USA and use his Medicare for any serious conditions or things that required extensive treatment or long hospitalization stays. Of course, you can't factor in accidents or things like that. You have to be prepared to pay that cost should you have a car accident or a coconut falls on your head or you get bit by a snake or things like that. And you're going to have to pay cash for that stuff at the hospital, unless you find one that accepts Visa or MasterCard, which several of the hospitals in Lipa City do accept cards for payment, which is how I handle mine. Any medical costs, I just scout around and I find doctors and hospitals that will accept Visa so that I can use my health savings account debit card for any medical or dental procedures. So basically that's it. He's on an SRRV visa. He doesn't have to pay any ongoing costs for that. He's been on that visa for a long time, so he doesn't have any visa costs. His total is 47,139 pesos, or $803.87, and that's very reasonable. He's able to save quite a bit of money each month. He makes significantly more than that. I don't know exactly how much he earns from. He has a small pension and he draws Social Security, but I know that it's significantly more than $800 a month. that he's drawing in. So he's actually stashing a lot of cash away each month. But there you have it, guys. That's one single guy living in a 2-story house in a gated subdivision with 24-hour security, same place that we live, and he's paying $803 per month on average. So when people tell you that it's not possible, it's very possible. There are also people that I know that live in here that spend double that because they want to live in a 5-bedroom house and it's fully furnished and with a yard and all of those things. It really just depends on your lifestyle, what you're comfortable doing, whether you're willing to eat locally produced foods, how much entertainment do you actually need, how much are you going to travel, what are you going to do for transportation. All of those things factor into your cost of living, and it varies from person to person. But the big place that Rick does it and what makes it possible for him is that low housing cost. And that's pretty standard in the Philippines. If you're careful and you take your time and you do your research, you can find some really nice digs over here for 10,000 pesos, around that mark, or even a little bit less. I know Jen and I lived in a really nice house at 13,000 pesos per month. And when we lived in that house, we were only spending between $800 and $900 a month in bills. So it's absolutely possible. Don't let people tell you that it's not possible, that people are lying to you. That's one thing that I won't do, is get on here and lie to you. Now, because your circumstances, what you want and what you desire, I mean, that might require $2,500 per month. So, I mean, if that's what you want and that's what you're comfortable with, hey, more power to you. You know, I'll back you up 100%. Absolutely. It really boils down to what you want. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you stopping by today. We got several more videos planned here in the near future. We got a big response on the house that we showed here in Coffee Grove. That I really appreciate all the support. You guys get these videos, share them out, get as many people to watch them as you can. Really helps us out and motivates us to make more and more content. We love making travel videos and showcasing houses here in the Lipa City area. And we're just going to continue to keep doing that as long as we're able, hopefully for a very long time. But anyway, guys, thank you so very much. Stay happy, stay healthy. We'll see you at the next video. Take care.